Okay, it's been a minute. Sorry. Been busy. Another better way to put that. I don't think Meghan's seen me much more than maybe 20 hours in the last couple weeks because of how much I've been up here at the shop working. And as you can tell, physically, I probably look a little ran down. So I even grew some of my hair back. It's been a minute. Okay, where we're at right now. Well, we missed Gulfport. Let's see, we went racing with the LS, and we broke the webbing out of the block, and we got the motor out of the car. We haven't torn the motor down yet, but that's because I had a couple weekends before our next race, which was going to be Gulfport, Mississippi. Missed that one by a mile. And the very next weekend, which is now coming up, is the 54th annual Snowbirds in Bradenton, Florida. So we got invited to do the true 10.5 no time class down there. 32 cars, $1,000 buy-in, $40,000 payout. The track will be slightly prepped, whatever prep a pro mod race is on, because they're doing pro mod racing and a bunch of other stuff, which normally everybody watches pro mod racing because it's a lot of fun. But the small tire stuff is now starting to get a lot of grip, and a lot of viewers are anxious to watch all of us throw it down there too. So, okay, what have I done? Where are we at? Why? So right now, the shop is an absolute disaster. It is Monday morning, and the game plan is to leave Wednesday. We're just gonna put Wednesday. I wanted to leave Wednesday afternoon. We're just gonna put Wednesday. Plan is to get to Bradenton Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. So it's about a 20-hour drive. Oh, goodness. I decided to make updates to the car. I didn't get all of them done that I wanted to do, but I did get a lot accomplished. Still got a good chunk to do. And today's actually December 1st, and there's snow falling. We have like a ½ inch of snow outside and accumulating. It won't be here come Wednesday to leave, as long as we don't get more, but I'd rather not drive in snow if I don't have to with the old skid mark. Haven't done it yet, don't plan to. I got tire change just in case, but we're also not in the mountains, so I don't know, we'll see. But we're gonna carry them with us just in case. We are not gonna get stuck anywhere. We're gonna just keep going. Oh, well, let's take a peek around real quick. It is before 8 a.m., so I'll return calls here in just a second for the shop. Rear end's out of the car. Motor's out of the car. Other motor's out of the car. Transmission is out of the car. Car has a window on it. That's cool. That's a start. Okay, so what do we do? Well, I decided to cut pretty much all the back half out of it. So I didn't get up into the 4-link bracket area. That all stayed the same. But everything here, well, the very top X I reused. But then yeah, everything else down below that's new. Why? Why did I do it? Well, I'll tell you, doing the testing with the LS was inspirational. I was ecstatic with how the car didn't want to wheelie. I was ecstatic with how effortless it was to get to the 330. And I noticed that the car was pulling really, really hard right. And I wanted to figure it out. So what we have done is we finally moved the bottles. I know they're not in the car right this second. We're moving the bottles from the passenger floorboard to over the rear end housing. And they're gonna be back in this zone here. So they'll be there to there. So they're right over the diff. So that's 100, about 100, well, about 30, 35 pounds a piece. So math ain't mathing real great this morning. 105, 110 pounds. And then we're gonna move the regulator, which is, yeah, it's in a box. It actually is your meeting hub for all the bottles to go into. It's where we fill from. It's where we pull high pressure air and reduce the low pressure air for the onboard air systems, like your CO2 replacement. And that guy's got a lot going on. It's about the size of this tub of towels before you put a bunch of fittings and hoses all over the thing. And it weighs like as much as it's full of lead. It's pretty hefty. So that's going to be in the back of the car. Well, it's going to be like right behind the main hoop bar. I haven't made the mount for that yet because I've been waiting for paint to dry in the back so that I can put the bottles back in, and then I got to make all new tin work because I did widen, or had to widen the rear tail section to accommodate the bottles by about 8 inches. So can't fit a 33/16.5 big tire no more, but we can still fit a 33/10.5W. We can fit a 32/14.5W. We can still fit way more big tire than we need to ever run because we never run big tire. But just in case we ever need to, we do have the ability to do it. And oh, I think about the only class we've never ran that has my interest is that 33/10.5. And Snowbirds does put that on too, but it's an invite only deal as well, and we might one day be able to do that. So I just want to build, I wanted to build with that in mind. So we thought it'd be the kind of the next big thing, but then they added 28/10.5 no time class right to it. And then you got Disco Dean talking about IHRA bringing the Brats class to 10 or more IHRA events with guaranteed payouts that are they're very, very nice payouts. They're not official yet, but it looks to be first place we get 20 grand, next place we get 7.5, and then it pays back to quarters. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you got a 16 car field. If you make it past one round, you get paid. You know, you make something. So you get a 32 car field, you got to make it past 2 rounds. So okay, so let's go move around over the front here and kind of go back to why the car was driving right. All right, so what I've done is redone the front end, and it's gonna get this is gonna get pointed out in different pictures and stuff later on, but they're not symmetrical side to side. Strut cut mounts are not symmetrical side to side. So this one tube meets here. Oh, I'm sorry. This one motor plate tube meets here. And on that side, it hits the bar right there. All right. So why I did that was, you remember back in the beginning of 2025 at Yellow Belly, I went red, and I went red a couple other places in approachery in the staging beams. Well, what I had done to help with that, and I haven't been talking about it much, and I allude to it, but I never say it, and it's no secret, stagger exists in the drag racing world, and I had put stagger in the car. So why do you want stagger? So I go to the whiteboard. Let's go to the whiteboard. Let's go to the whiteboard. Okay. We'll work right here today. So this is your starting line beams. You know, they're about 1.5 inches off the ground. So they're pretty low. Now, when you stage, let's grab a socky puck here. Yeah, this will work great, or whatever this thing is. This is nice and pretty. When you go to stage, you roll in, you hit that first beam, and then you roll in, hit the second beam. So I like to stage shallow. So the shallower you are, because these guys, there's a distance, and I forget the exact number right this second, but there's two ways that most tracks measure this. One is supposed to be you take a 23-inch tall tire, 23 or 24-inch tall tire, and you have to measure the amount of roll it takes to move, I think 12 inches of circumference or something like that. Or some tracks will just measure the distance beam to beam. I think that distance is like in between 2.5 to 4 inches. There's an official way to measure that, and I don't recall exactly what it is, but it doesn't matter in this scenario. So, goodness, busy. The reason why I say that is because right now, in a perfect world, everybody's going to set up their car to have the front axles perfectly in line with each other. So when you stage in, both tires are going to touch that second beam at the exact same time. And when you go to leave, as soon as you brake that beam right there, your clock starts. Your reaction time has been set, and your official timer to go down the track has initiated. Okay. So when we put in stagger, we now use the advantage of having two tires instead of one, and one tire will be 2 inches further forward than the other. So what that means is when one tire is here, the other tire is still back here. All right, so when we take off, as the first tire takes away, the back tire, or the next tire, is still in that back beam. So what that does is that gives us a rolling start to the track. It's kind of like the same tool as a pecker extender. So we're essentially shortening the track by a couple inches, and we also delay our reaction time. Not good for little gangsters, not good for bracket racing, only good for heads up. And also really good for instant green. So there are imposed limits on maximum stagger amounts all across racing. Typically it's 2 inches. I have heard of a couple of professional cars that were raced in a series of no time instant green racing that had like 5 or 6 inches of stagger in them. So I want to say we played with this a little bit early this year, and we gave ourselves what measured out to be 2 inches at the bottom of the kingpin down here. Oh god, drop my camera. Yeah, down here at the bottom here, we measured 2 inches here side to side, and we had increased our reaction time. Gosh, I want to say it was like a 1/100th or 2/100ths on average. So you can imagine, you know, by the time you put, if you had like 5 or 6 inches in it, you'd have like 5/100ths. I mean, 50 on the tree, 50 to 60 on the tree of slowing your reaction time down. So, I mean, that opens up your window to take a stab at instant green and makes it bigger and bigger. So that's one of the reasons why there's a limitation on how much stagger you're supposed to have. Now that also directly removes ET from your 60-foot. From there, it no longer changes your packages. So like your increments, so like your 60 to 330 number is the same, your 330 to 8th mile number, that's all seems to be the same. But your 60-foot numbers will show better on the slip because you have a rolling start to the 60-foot. So we had measured 2 inches of stagger into it at the bottom. When I threw the tape, or when I threw the chassis up on a little makeshift table here and set out my front end steel plate and everything else, Squared everything up. You know, it takes a day, and then you find out how much stuff is crooked. So then you come up with a game plan on how to fix it, and you lose another day thinking about that and then being depressed because it's messed up. And you just make the best of it. Well, when push came to shove and we ended up measuring everything, your strut's supposed to be laid back at 10 degrees. And I had front halved this car in early 23, and then I flipped it over at Dig or Die in December 23. And taking some rough numbers on it, it didn't look like it was that bad out of whack. Well, come to find out, it was kind of bad out of whack, and that side had an extra 4 degrees of caster in it. The driver's side did. And when I did the stagger, the only way to do it was to suck the arms back and to push that one forward. And that put that strut was at like 16 degrees, and this strut here was at 12. So either way, they were both still pushed forward. They had a lot more caster than they're supposed to have, but that one was way worse. So we also had issues with my steering rack, because I had it underneath the frame rail. It kept getting hit, and then it would bend the mounts, and I wouldn't notice it, and then we'd notice the car would be kind of steering funny. So I did move it to the top of the frame, and also was able to measure bump steer by cycling the shocks up and down, or struts, sorry. Moving the struts up and down, and the way I've got it all now, our bump steer went from having to have like an inch worth of spacers between the steering arm and the tie rod end to between 2 to 4 washers from what I can see right now. And we will, once we get the wheels and tires on it, we'll kind of cycle through all that again. But so far, watching it with the laser going up and down, it is extremely good. So that'll be nice too. Anyways, summarize everything. Rebuilt the whole front of the car. Should help it to track straighter and also give us that 2 inches of stagger in it. So we built that into the chassis. So rules are plus or minus 1 inch or plus or minus 2 inches of wheelbase. So we one's back, one's forward. So passenger side's a little shorter than factory wheelbase. The driver's side is going to be an inch longer. So we'll be at that plus or minus 1 inch rule and well within a plus or minus 2. The what else we do? I had to build a new steering shaft because of that, because of the racks moved. Tie rod ends worked. I gotta get new hardware for a couple different things. We also installed new hammer adjusting cups. These cups are they're larger diameter ones. I haven't had my clickers up here in forever because they wouldn't fit. But with these cups, there's enough room to get in here and put the clip in and put the clicker on. So that'll be nice. And then I've got AFCO's new extended clickers from Sho-Me Speed to drop on here. That'll give me like a 2 inch tall adjuster so I can get to it easier, especially as I drive the crank steering line up and I drive the strut down. Also built in a little more room. These are going to poke out the hood a little bit more, but they already do. So another inch isn't going to kill me visually. But that'll also allow us to put some shock shaft in here and to allow the motor to go lower if we want. You may have also noticed in some of our videos the left front tire is pulling pretty easily, and that's because when that strut's at such a big angle, it's a fixed distance. The strut can only get so tall. It actually runs out of physical extension and ends up getting picked up while this one's on the ground because of all that caster. So we just took that same length and arced it forward. That's why I also recommend you always do your front wheel speed sensor on the passenger side when you add one, because that sucker should be on the ground most of the time. And not because your chassis was built wrong or anything like that. It's also the natural tendency to hike the left tire as you crush your right rear from the natural twisting motion of the engine and applying torque. Boo, boo, boo. What else? What else do I want to talk about? Somebody pointed out Vulcan welders. Those things are pretty, I liked it. It was pretty nice. Worked out pretty good. I've had Everlast, Lincoln, Mueller, now Vulcan. Works out. Let's see. We did hammers, lower control arms, lower control arm mounts, steering rack mounts. Colton down at Sho-Me Speed got my shocks and struts all set up. We got a new set of shocks for the back. So we're going to do some divorce canisters for the back. Look at that shaft. Ugh. Oh, that's 9 inches, baby. Let's see what we got going on back here. Oh, let's look at this again. We also, when I put my inner roll bar in eons ago, I did not have it on a table, and this guy was installed like a 6-degree angle, and it was also not in a very good spot, so it was just kind of like in the area. So that's a lot stouter. Goodness, there's a lot of updates I did, a lot of changes, but sorry if I'm kind of scatterbrained, rattled. Like I said, it's been, I think, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Been grinding, cutting, fitting tubes on this thing, and I think I'm fine to assembly week. So, a lot of stuff. I found a lot of stuff, fixed a lot of stuff. But I think I do. There's some more stuff I want to do up here. Probably not going to happen this go around. I do want to do a new, I really want a middle of the car. So I really want to cut out the firewall, redo the motor plate area, redo the double frame rail, redo the floorboards. I want to do everything this point back. I really want to do that still. And I still want to add a true double frame rail in up here to tie everything together, help with any kind of twisting motion from the motor, because right now all that gets transferred in the mid plate, and the mid plate, you can definitely tell that sucker is getting chewed up. But the way this was done is too narrow. So I gotta put the motor back in and see if I can kick out these frame rail bars to go around the motor and the starter and everything. Oh, kablooey. I think that's about it. I think that's about all I got right now. So I'm gonna get back. Well, today's Monday. It's been a great long weekend with Thanksgiving and everything else. Worked through some of it and then worked on the cars for the rest of it. 15-hour days. Gonna start my truck real fast because it is like 17 degrees outside. Time to go home. Come on. Wait for that to send. Ah, there we go. All right. Okay. Well, I got interrupted this morning from a dead battery, and we've been closed for about, I don't know, we've been closed since Wednesday because of Thanksgiving, and it was Monday, and Mondays are always busy and hectic, and it was a great Monday. So we got some work done. I got a little bit done. The boys got quite a bit done. So Brandon and Brian showed up for work today, and we didn't have a cam job on the docket for this morning. So they jumped in where they could. And as you can see, we now have an engine. Engine's in, transmission's in, and in is loose. It's about 70% in. So we got a couple things we got to tidy up. An engineering project I didn't expect to have to do is fuel pump change. So normally this guy goes right here, but my steering shaft went really nice right there. So I put it perfectly in the way. But the good news is we already got the pump relocated, remounted. I just got to change out this bolt, fittings, things like that, and should get to rock super solid, ready to rock and roll. I got to do cooling system, up here and plug in the rest of the stuff. And really, it's pretty well ready to rock and roll. It's the beauty of the compressed air stuff. Literally, we'll just take the ejector thing and stick it on there, and boom, we're boosted. Yeehaw! 4,000 horsepower or whatever it makes, I don't know. Going down the motor of this thing. The interior looks like absolute garbage because it has been collecting some trash, literally. And it's kind of been a catch-all. Oh, okay. I got the bottles set in here, and you kind of started playing with the plumbing. Plan A did not work out on where I wanted to put the regulator. So plan A was to put the regulator over here, and the third bottle, it was going to go behind everything, so it had a much longer line to come up and around. And instead I decided to put all three in a row right there, and that forced me to just kind of make the lines work that I got. These suckers are expensive, man. These are like 200 bucks on average a piece, every one of these high pressure lines. And got to order them from California. I bought all their fittings they had in stock, and they didn't have a whole lot of line. I think they had like 25 or 30 foot of line, so they didn't have a lot. So I bought what I thought I needed, and you have to have it assembled there and pressure tested there and certified there, because it is made for some extreme temperature movements. Because, you know, I don't know this for a fact, but I believe the math comes out to be somewhere around 170 degrees to 200 degrees below zero in these bottles at the rate that we deplete them. So these are 200 SCF, for the term. It's been a 15-hour day, but these are 200 cubic foot bottle, whatever the S cubic foot is. And you know, we're going 3,500 pounds to about 500 pounds in about 4 to 4.5 seconds, somewhere in that range. So you can plug those numbers into your online calculator and see what you come up with, but it's pretty freaking cold. So you need lines that can handle extreme temperature fluctuation. Boom, and then it recovers pretty fast. And you gotta live in a race car environment with vibrations and everything else. Let's see, where are we at? We got over here by this trash can. There's trash cans everywhere. Trash day is tomorrow, and there's been a lot of unboxing, so everything's overflowing. We switched out our 389 gear to a 370, and it's probably the easiest gear swap in the world to do because the rear end is sitting right here, and it's got floaters, you know, 10 Soldier housing, strange floaters, strange center, and Quick Performance gear on that center section. And hey, just knock these caps off here, slide your axles out, take out your fasteners in the front, pop the pumpkin out, drain your fluid, catch your fluid, put it in, put new fresh fluid in, ready to rock and roll. Easy peasy. Let's see, what do we got left? Well, today is Monday evening. It's about 11, probably time this video is over, about 11:15, 11:20. And I'm gonna go home, get some sleep, come in a couple hours early again, get a couple of them more things done, and yeah, then work on the car. So, gotta make our zooming mounts. Good old flat strap. Yep, this car is built to have a lot of mild steel in a lot of areas. Not the cage. The cage is all molly, but things like strap, angle iron. I use what I can, what I got, because I don't have a CNC table, plasma table, or a hand skill set to carefully trace something like that out by hand. So I use what I got. And I want to see what this strap looks like. Cool. So I just gotta drill a hole, sleeve it, And my straps work again. Fantastic. Okay, well, I think we're still on target to leave Wednesday. Felt pretty left out. Started seeing people showing up at Bradenton already. You know, like I saw Ryan Martin's there with both Fireball and Phoenix, both on smalls. I figured he would have Fireball in the Pro Mod class, but nope. He is over in small tire with us. And there's going to be a lot of bad MFers. A lot of bad ones. Let's see, what do we got left to do? It's not bad. Got to do brakes and wheels, obviously. Got to put our diaper on. Fuel lines, cooling system. Plumb the cast. That's almost done. I just got to plumb the low side now. Tin work. Supposed to have done today. That didn't happen. Put the rear suspension in after the tin work's done. Wire the cast. Hopefully that'll happen tomorrow. We've got to extend some wires because we're moving the regulator. I got a couple of things on the motor and transmission finish to do, so not a big deal. Got to wrap right on their Sho-Me straps. I'll make sure that's on there. Catch can. Let's see. Oil and trans. Okay. Yep, engine transmission is pretty much there. 370's in there. Got to mount some new tires. Got to plumb the oil accumulator, which isn't a big deal. Just a couple fittings, or a couple connections, I should say. Alignment. And then packing doesn't look too bad. And then the RV and trailer are almost ready. So we've been having tire issues on the trailer. And I think that, let's see. One, I think we definitely hit something. There was some damage on the roadway near the guardrails, so I think we clipped some damaged area there, and that caused that tire to let go. And then I put the spare on, which the spare was on a bent trailer axle a couple of years ago, so the inside of it was worn pretty good. And it survived there 2,500, 3,000 miles, and then just gave up. I mean, it is what it is. So I bought a couple more trailer tires. Gotta get one of those mounted on our spare wheel, and then we'll have a spare dismounted tire to take with us just in case. And oh yeah, skylight. There's another here about skylight. That's kind of a funny story. The RV skylight got knocked out last week, and I got the replacement. Replacement's in. Just got to mount it up, fix a couple things. Oh, so we were on top of the RV last week doing awnings. The bedroom awning, well, let's see. All the awnings on the RV are old. They're 20 plus years old. And that stuff does not last forever. And the bedroom awning doesn't have a shield or capsule. It's not that kind of style. The whole element, the whole braid of it is exposed to the elements. I don't know if it's supposed to have a cap on it. Maybe it did at one point, but not ever since I've owned an RV. And there was some wind, and there was a step in the wrong spot. And this is the inside skylight, which you can see there's a little leak up there. So I mean, the hardware is rotted anyways, and you know, it's one of those things that need to be fixed. And the bedroom awning was also allowing water to go into the RV, which I'm very happy to report since we replaced that. There's been zero water getting in the RV, even through the leaky skylight, because I put a piece of plexiglass over the skylight for now. But yeah, there was a misstep, and one of us actually stepped through the skylight into the shower, didn't fall all the way through, but made a heck of a mess, and nobody was hurt, thank goodness. But now we got repairs to do. But tomorrow is supposed to be slightly warmer. It's supposed to be up in the 36 range, and hopefully that's enough to melt some snow and ice, because this is not fun. This is no good. We got icicles. All I know is this makes me really happy that we're going to Florida in a couple days. Getting out of here. And right after we get back from Florida, we got to pretty much turn around and go to PRI. And PRI is always cold and snowy and icy. So that's, and we're back to Florida. But we'll get into that later. Ooh, maybe it's because I got him out the Christmas tree first. Okay. So we got a list of shit to do. It's not bad. It's feeling less overwhelming and daunting every day. But basically tomorrow I really need this sucker fired up, running, pressure check that back there, because at 5 o'clock tomorrow, that's our last call for parts, for overnight parts from Japan. So if I don't get any order in that we need of stuff, then Wednesday becomes a little more difficult. And then we're working on shipping stuff to people that we know in Florida instead. But anyways, there's not really much I'm worried about. So, you know, as long as I didn't somehow fry the Dominator ECU or something weird while I've been welding on the car. I mean, it shouldn't have happened because everything's disconnected, but you know, dumb stuff happens. When you do this kind of tear down and you rebuild and the car still has a lot of stuff on it, things happen. Unintentional consequences do happen. So hopefully none of that stuff happens and we can fire this bad boy up and she's happy, she's healthy, runs good, no glitches, no weird things. And we got to roughen the alignment. And I would go take it down the street here in town and just see how it drives, but can't do that. Not that crap outside. So we'll probably just be getting it in the box, going to Florida, and maybe just drive around the pit a little bit, and then make our I think we're gonna make a shakedown on Friday in Q1, and then Q2 we're supposed to be lining up with Mr. Billy Hodgkins. So we're gonna get a little rematch with that white Camaro of his and lay it down. We both kind of felt a little left out with all these call outs that have been going on down there. And he was like, oh, I want to race Ryan. I was like, I want to race Billy, because we are two of the only probably non-billet engine cars coming. And I'm gonna say former street racers. I don't know. I don't street race anymore. I hung that hat up. So almost 3 years. Feel like I'm 3 years sober. almost 3 years. I think I should get a token or a coin or something by now. Oh goodness, but that was feels like a long time ago now. And in some ways, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago at all. But you give me a legal street event, I'm there. You give me a reason to go on the street and to do something, I don't know. Maybe I'll be there too. I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see. Okay, well, I think that will sum it up. That was enough rambling, I think, and randomness. So, sorry it's been a minute for a video. I really haven't even picked up this camera to do one for the last 2 weeks. And, I'll try to shoot one. I'll try to shoot one daily for next, for a little bit. That way we can get some content rolling and get everybody kind of in on the action and kind of what's happening and stuff. So tomorrow I got a lot ahead of me. I really want to get that tin work knocked out. Actually, I didn't want to get the whole list knocked out. That's what I really need to do. I want to get tin work. I want to get rolling. I want to get fired. That's what I want to do. And then be working on minor detail stuff Wednesday before we load, and then get loaded and bounce. Hopefully the weather is going up Wednesday as well, and maybe we'll make our RV repair and trailer tire change out Wednesday before we go. So if not, I got the plexiglass glued down, and I'll just have to roll. So okay, over and out. You all have a good night. I'm gonna go have a good night and go drive home, take a shower, go to bed.
Adios.